Hi 6th graders, I hope your first day of distance learning has gone well. Today we are going to work on day 2. So all of your assignments that you need are in the Thursday 120 and Friday 121 folder. So if you take a look at that folder, it has the directions for what you need to do. So the first thing is you need to watch this video, which you're already doing, so great. The second thing is you need to copy the clue document over to Notability. And then you need to complete the activity. When you have figured out who murdered Mr. Frack in what room and with what object, you need to send me a message and I will tell you if you're correct or not. And then the last thing you need to do is make sure you have finished all of those IXLs for Unit 4. We are done with Unit 4, so I need you to make sure that you are completed with all of your IXLs so that when we take our test, you know exactly what to do. So those IXLs are J1, J3, J6, K6, K13, L2, L5, and L7. Remember, if you have questions, please send me a message. Alright, let's get started. So the clue review is in here. Just copy that document right over to Notability. I'm going to walk you through a few of the problems. So let me find the document. I already copied it over. So we're going to play Clue today. Clue is a board game that you can play, but we're not going to use it as a board game since we're distance learning. So what we're going to do is there are 20 problems to solve. Some of them will take you maybe a minute, some of them will take you a little bit longer than that. You do need to simplify, but you do not need to change your improper fractions to be mixed numbers. Alright, so we have 20 problems. When we find the answer to a problem, you're going to take a look over on this side where all of our suspects with the objects and the rooms are. And you are going to cross out whatever answer you get. So let's say for number 1 you get 3/4. Here's 3/4. It's your stapler. So then you would cross it off. Mr. Frack did not die with a stapler. Alright, so let's practice a few. Go ahead and erase that if you drew on that. Let's just take a look at number 1 for example. So we have 1/2 times 3/4. Remember, when we're multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. We cannot simplify 3 over 8, so that is your answer. So now we take a look over at our list of suspects, and we find 3/8. So I found it. It's the charging cable. Cross that one off. Mr. Frack was not killed with a charging cable. Alright. So I have a few more problems I want to do with you. Let's take a look at number 19. We have 34 over 75 divided by 51 over 100. First thing... 279. Not correct. That was Mr. Armbruster, if you couldn't tell. First thing that we need to do is we need to do keep, change, flip because we are dividing. So we have 34 over 75. We change our division sign to a multiply, and then we flip 51 over 100 to be 100 over 51. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to multiply, but I'm going to make this easier on you. We're going to simplify before we multiply. So to do that, we have 75 and we have 100. We could divide both of those numbers by 25. So 75 divided by 25 gives you 3, and 100 divided by 25 gives you 4. So now those numbers are a little bit smaller to work with. Okay, make sure you are writing this down with me. Now we multiply straight across. 34 times 4 is 136, and 3 times 51 gives us 153. Now these numbers are huge. You probably don't know what we could simplify these numbers by. So I'm going to tell you what your simplified answer is to make it a little easier on ourselves. Your simplified answer is 8 over 9. So now let's find 8 over 9 over in our list. Here it is. It's Mr. Royger's room, so cross that off. Mr. Frack was not killed in Mr. Royger's room. Awesome. Let's do one more. I'd like you to go right to number 20. I'm picking these problems because they're the biggest and the numbers aren't very nice that you would know how to divide them. Alright, so I see we're dividing fractions. We need to do KCF. So we have 96 over 125. Change your division sign to a multiply, and then flip 16 over 5 to be 5 over 16. Alright, next we need to simplify first before we multiply. So 5 and 125, we could divide both of those numbers by 5. So 5 divided by 5 gives us 1. 125 divided by 5 gives us 25. And we could divide 96 and 16 by the same numbers. We could divide both of these numbers by 16. 16 divided by 16 is 1, and 96 divided by 16 is 6. So now we could multiply smaller numbers. 6 times 1 is 6. 25 times 1 is 25. So your answer is 6 over 25. Now let's find that in our list. Here it is, the chemical poison, so you can cross that off. So your job for the rest of the day is to finish the rest of this worksheet. So you have 17 problems to do. Most of them won't take you very long, but the biggest thing you need to remember is to simplify. The only thing you don't need to simplify is your improper fractions. Like Mr. Young's is 63 over 55. That's an improper fraction, and you do not need to simplify it. If you have questions, please send me a message. I hope you can crack the case and figure out who killed Mr. Frack. Any questions, send me a message. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.